Thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. His Excellency, Kursad Tuzmen, Minister of State for Foreign Trade, Honorable Mana Diamond, honorable members of the Consular Corps in Atlanta, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this wonderful Southern Center for International Studies. It's my first time here, and we all really appreciate and understand the importance of what you're doing and have been doing for the past few decades. It's a great honor and privilege for me to be here, and also joining friends from the Turkish-American Chamber of Commerce, and here in these beautiful surroundings, we are reminded again of the great work that you've been doing in promoting international relations as well as education. The work that Peter White began back in the early 60s and which continues under Dr. Wayne Lord, really in today's world has never been more essential. And indeed Atlanta, the state of Georgia, the South, and the international community everywhere are better today because of the Southern Center. Before introducing the Honorable Minister, His Excellency, to you, I'd like to just say a few words about the two countries that I admire greatly. As a dual citizen of both Turkey and the United States, and as someone whose really entire life has been influenced and shaped by these two wonderful nations, you probably can say that I have a keen interest in promoting both very strong relations between those two nations. Many people may not know this, but diplomatic relations between Turkey and the United States go back to the earliest days of the United States. The U.S. Secretary of State then, John Quincy Adams, the chief architect of the Monroe Doctrine, was amongst the first statesmen in America to recognize both the political as well as the economic significance of the Ottoman Empire back in the 1830s. Trade and friendship continued throughout Mr. Adams' ensuing presidency, and again in 1830 the first Ottoman-American Trade Pact was signed. Over the years, both diplomatic as well as trade relations between those two nations remained very healthy, and the friendship not has only endured but has strengthened. In fact, when the Republic of Turkey was formed in 1923, under the leadership of President Atatürk, the first Turkish ambassador to Washington carried the name Muhtar Kent. He also happened to be my great-uncle. President Kennedy, on the 25th anniversary of President Atatürk's death, recalled a passage from a speech given by the Turkish leader, which he said was about this relationship, quote, "We are great friends now, and we will even be closer friends in the future." Both presidents keenly understood the critical importance of ensuring that relations between both nations always remain strong, as well as anchored to the foundations of openness and trust. Sadly, President Kennedy's tribute to President Atatürk on that November 10th, 1963, was one of the last official foreign relations statements he ever gave, as he was tragically killed 12 days later. Turkish-American friendship lives on, however, and has manifested itself in many ways over the years. First, through the strong and deep partnership in NATO, which Turkey joined in 1952. Also, through a very strong heritage of cultural, educational exchanges, shared passions for respective arts, music, history, and a deep mutual respect for democracies, for our two democracies, and freedom. On the educational front, let me reference tens of thousands of young Turkish men and women who've graduated from American educational institutions. Also mention some of Turkey's best educational establishments, like Robert College, Turkish-American College, set up over a century ago with U.S. help and assistance. Of course, one of the greatest examples of our friendship is our healthy trade and commercial ties. Today, America is one of Turkey's largest trading partners, and American companies are some of the largest investors and employers in Turkey. And on that front, Coca-Cola is a prime example. Since the first investment of Coca-Cola in Turkey back in 1964, the Coca-Cola system there has grown to become one of the largest employers, but also a leader in business. Coca-Cola in Turkey since those days has invested a total of $1 billion and provides 25,000 families directly and indirectly with employment in Turkey. Istanbul is the headquarters of Coca-Cola's both Eurasia and Africa group, which accounts for 93 countries, 2/5 of the world, that is headquartered in Istanbul. More than 20 executives from Turkey are scattered all across the world in critical roles in Coca-Cola, including two who are in leadership positions. Ahmet Bozer, president of Coca-Cola's Eurasian Africa Group, joins me in that regard. And Coca-Cola İçecek, our joint venture in Turkey, is one of the most dynamic companies on the Istanbul Stock Exchange. And Turkish investment also in America is also at the same time on the rise. And that said, I believe there's so much more potential for growing trade, and specifically trade between Turkey and the state of Georgia and the economically vibrant southeast of the United States. And in my numerous travels between Turkey and Atlanta, I'm always struck by how much these two cities, as well as cultures, share the entrepreneurial spirit. It's the same energy that has made Turkey the 17th largest economy in the world today, and Georgia amongst the fastest growing economies in the United States. Our respective pro-business environments, youthful populations, growing educational investments, and outstanding quality of life make Georgia and Turkey natural trade as well as natural business partners. And no one knows this than my good friend, His Excellency, Minister of State Kursad Tuzmen. Minister Tuzmen has made trade with Georgia as well as the Southeast a top priority. And I've come to learn that when Minister Tuzmen sets his mind to something, I know he achieves it. In addition to his exemplary public service career, Minister Tuzmen is also a world-class athlete, and also my favorite minister in the Turkish cabinet. In fact, this past July, the minister once again, not the first time, once again swam across the Bosphorus in the annual Asia to Europe race. He's the only government leader in the world that swam from Asia to Europe. And let me add, he came in second amongst 500 swimmers in his age class. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's 4 miles of non-stop swimming. So with that kind of determination, I know that Turkish and American trade is in very, very good hands. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Minister of State Kursad Tuzmen.
Thank you very much. Actually, yes, like you, I am an early bird too. Early bird swimming, then now early bird is great, sincere meeting actually. It is a great opportunity for me. First of all, I would like to thank the Southern Center for International Studies for organizing this meeting. As a minister, it is my first visit to Atlanta. As a late master degree student in University of Illinois, we came to Atlanta for site study. We visited Coca-Cola at that time. Now I came back after 18 years. Now I see honorary consulate Mona. It's great honor for us. I see Muhtar Kent in Coca-Cola. It is also a great happiness, great honor for us. Turkish, guy inside of the decision-making process at the top of it. It's a great pleasure, really, to feel that. And also I see Tarık Bey in the center of Istanbul Center. So after 18 years, there has been a lot of change in Atlanta, in Georgia, and I observe in my eyes, and the world is developing, but Turkey's economy is also developing too. I just want to give some figures. At the beginning, I will give some figures and what we have in that region, and then I will open the floor for your questions, because it is better question and answer session. So, actually, these idea factories, think tanks like the SIC, are on the main actors of democratic societies, assuring a pluralistic, open and accountable process of policy analysis, research, decision-making and evaluation. It's a pleasure for me to be speaker before such a distinguished audience, and one of the discussions of the SCIC were broad ranges of issues from the confrontation between Russia and Georgia, and our neighbor Georgia, and also 2008 Summer Olympics, and also my swimmer colleague got 8 gold medals. So actually also we discussed China, but I think let's begin our discussion today with IMF calculations. Now Turkey is among the top 15 economies of the world. So it is the biggest trading nations, one of the biggest trading nations in the world. In 2002, when I came as a Minister of Foreign Trade, our exports was $36 billion, and our construction amount abroad was about $1.7 billion. Construction, foreign construction, is also under my responsibility. I am in charge of foreign trade, I am in charge of Exim Bank of Turkey, I am in charge of customs. I was in charge of customs of Turkey, and also I was in charge of, now I am still in charge of foreign construction works of Turkey. $1.7 billion foreign construction came to $20 billion in 2000. From $1.7 billion, $20 billion work completed outside. And exports of Turkey from $36 billion came to $107 billion last year. This year I expect to have about nearly $137 billion. Another $100 billion will be added to this figure. And I'm sure that it will go on that way, because among the OECD countries, we are number 1 for the 5 consecutive years in terms of export growth rate. Now, if we compare 2000 Turkey's exports with 2007, it increased by 282%. Turkey now, it is 22nd biggest exporter and 19th biggest importer of the world. In an international study, in any international study, Turkey is cited as one of the next emerging 11 economies in the world. We are determined to keep this momentum. Our aim is to reach $1 trillion in 2000 and $200 billion of exports by the end of 2012, and $500 billion by 2023, where we really will have the 100th anniversary of the Turkish Republic at that time. Foreign direct investments in Turkey in 2007 reached to $22.2 billion. For all my, young career, and also Muhtar Kent knows very well, for last 20 years, we couldn't be able to receive over $1 billion foreign direct investment in Turkey. Never happened, because our governments was like a revolving door type of governments. I was Undersecretary of Foreign Trade. I worked for the Undersecretary of Foreign Trade many years as a General Director, the Deputy Undersecretary, Undersecretary of Foreign Trade. And, could you imagine that I worked with 16 different ministers during that time? 16 different ministers. 4 months, 6 months, these were the careers of the ministers in Turkey. Now we have a consistent government. Since from 2002, I am the Foreign Trade Minister of Turkey. I know all the neighborhood surrounding countries and other countries. The leaders, they know me very well. We trust each other, and we explore our basic, and we boost our trade activities through this. So, Turkey is also gaining ground in the I mentioned about constructors. Constructors undertook about nearly $20 billion. And the projects overall the world. We came number 3. First country in the construction works outside, United States. Second, China. And third country is Turkey. This can be a different calculation maybe in your minds, but this is a real truth. So, Russia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Venezuela, Siberia, Equatorial Guinea, Ireland, Afghanistan, Libya, Iraq, all over the world we have these all projects and joint ventures also with the United States companies there. And we have very good cooperation between Turkish and American companies in countries like Croatia, Afghanistan, Russia, Libya, and Iraq. The achievements in the economy so far clearly indicate that Turkey is ready to more advanced stage of development and more innovative economy. Our aim is to ensure greater efficiency, transparency, and accountability. We will take all the necessary measures to maintain what has been achieved so far. This includes the decisiveness to keep the macroeconomic stability and keep inflation to single digits and to lower it to Maastricht criteria. All my colleagues here know that. All my childhood and grown-up period, we had about 100% inflationary rate, 70% inflationary rate. It was a reality of the life for us. Now it is 1 digit. It is around 9%, and I think it is one of the success story of Turkey. And what I see, last page of the Economist magazine, all currencies are labeled there. At the end of the page, I look at all the world, what is going on, the indexes, currency rates, etc. The basic printers of the economists, I think, always complaining about Turkey, because all countries' currencies was 1 to 3 digits. But when it comes to Turkish lira equivalency, it has about 7 digits. So it destroyed the columns on the last page of the economy. Now we fit in the columns, and I think we fit in very well, actually. So I don't want to mention a lot. I am a real expert in the WTO meetings, negotiations. They took me in a chief negotiator position in the WTO meetings. Developing countries and developed countries, they took me, you will be the referee for us, okay, intermediate. No way. 200 countries, it never happens. Developed countries' interests and developing countries' interests are quite different. So I tried my best. Also in Cancun, I tried my best. And worked 4 a.m. in the morning. They said, no, it is not easy to have a minimum. I said, let's have a mutual point. They said, no, we don't agree. I said, okay, guys. I went to Cozumel Island for diving, and then come back. Because there was a demonstration outside. I spent my time very efficiently, very effectively. And then we did some other jobs there. But in WTO, in the Doha rounds, and also the other atmosphere around the world, every time it is more difficult. The trade is more difficult, more complicated, more competitive, but we know how to deal with them, actually. So this cooperation between countries, both bilateral and multilateral levels, became very important to minimize these negative implications. Besides the development at the global economic environment, of course, political developments in and around Turkey are also important for the economic development and stability of our country. Turkey is passing through a process of political change, which I believe helped to achieve more stable country. Furthermore, we must also admit that the strategic location of Turkey, a feature we frequently talk about, becomes at the same time a liability for Turkey, since Turkey located in the middle of a mostly troubled region. It is not my preference. We are living there, and we are surrounded by Iraq, Iran, Syria, Russia. You all know that. But you have these news just in the, you watch TV and you read the newspaper, something goes on there. Come on. I try to set up and I try to boost our trade with the neighborhood countries and all the region. And it is not an easy work, they say so, but we manage. And Turkey emerged as an important actor in the region as a result of its historical and cultural ties with the countries in the region. Turkey played an effective role in the most crises witnessed in Balkans, Middle East, Caucasia, and the recent decades. You know, we are not very good in the fashion. You know, we design our ties, layers. We create fashion in Turkey. I will come to that in our export items. We have everything, but after the Ottoman Empire period, during the Ottoman Empire period, we had about 15 million square kilometers, the land, okay, within 3 continents, Africa, Asia, Europe. So after the 1920s, it came to 780,000 square kilometers only. It's a little bit larger than Texas, I believe. So we live in this position. But come on, we have relatives. We have relatives in Balkans. We have relatives in Caucasia. We have relatives in Iraq. We have relatives in Syria. We have relatives in Iran. And what happens in Balkania disturbs you. What happens in Caucasia disturbs you, gives you pain. What happens in Iraq? So it is not easy to manage. We shrink down, and our jacket is not fit to us. So we have a tailor-made design again. And some other countries try to involve in this process over 20, 50,000 kilometers away period, but it is better to ask us, how you can manage in the region. It is important. So, they prepared me very good notes, but never I follow up. Sorry about it. And it gives me a lot of disturbance during my career in the cabinet also. I know sometimes everyone says, no, please say it in that way anyway. So, Bosphorus, of course, the control over Bosphorus position vis-a-vis energy pipelines within the region and its deep relations with Russia, Georgia, an important investor, Turkey in Georgia. I opened up the Georgian Turkey airport, Tiflis and Batumi. I got the tenders. Foreign construction work is under my responsibility. I got the tenders in the Egypt, third terminal, in other countries. This is important for us, definitely. So we do a lot in the region, but the Caucasian Stability and Cooperation Platform, an initiative of Turkey, is discussed in the NATO, the allies and regional countries. And of course, we are focusing for the more stable environment for the Middle Eastern region. We've taken part in the negotiations between Israel and Syria. And soon we also launch an initiative to facilitate trade between Israel and Palestine. I'm going to do that, both Israel and Palestine. Mendelssohn, who was the commissioner of the European Union, now he is the trade minister of the United Kingdom. He said that, let's have an initiative for Palestine and Israel. I said, come on, I'm fed up with that. It is a romantic approach. Why, he said. I said, come on, if we do not get the support of the United States, if we do not get the support of Japan, if you do not get the support of World Bank, it will be a romantic history. I felt I can set a good organization. You came to Bosphorus, you see the Asia and area Europe, in the Tiran Palace, I gave you very good lunch, dinners, etc., and then you go back. And the problem is with me, always, in my lifetime. So, if you are keen on that, if you are going to really want to solve this problem, okay, we are going to do that. And I think now it is going very well, but fortunately or unfortunately, the commissioner is not there. But I'm going on to follow up the position. So Turkey has recently emerged as an important player in the Iranian nuclear crisis as well. We call Tehran to come up with a response to an international incentive offer and open the way for a direct U.S.-Iranian dialogue. I was in charge of the customs in Turkey. I was very keen in the customs process. For 5 years, I governed the customs. It is not an easy task, I can say that. Aluminium tanks, they came from Iran, they came from Italy and goes to Iran. I said, come on, what kind, double usage? Set up, okay, No way, no interest. So we had a lot of tough times. But always we try to keep in the region and the regional countries in a peaceful environment. I know overall the hydrocarbon prices cause a lot of differences in the region in terms of, the powers of the states, the equilibrium of the balances. It has changed. Hydrocarbon price. I was dealing with Iraq. It was $20 per barrel. You remember that times. I did a lot of good contracts with them for Turkey. Now it is $100. $140, now it came to $90. But during that time, both two countries gained a lot. They had surplus. One is Russia, the other was Iran. And they, of course, had opportunity to go involved in some other activities. Some of them in some nuclear issues, some of them are in the positioning themselves for a great empire again. So it is, of course, in that part of the world, the calculations are very important. And everything is affecting that. What I said, I see this is a threat, increase in the hydrocarbon prices, oil prices, gas prices. I convert it to an opportunity with my team. I said, okay, these guys had a lot of money. I go for them for construction works. I want to take all the tenders of infrastructure, superstructure of them. And also I try to sell my products and services to them. So that's why we had a boost also during that time in our trade. Starting from neighborhood and surrounding countries. It was just representing 7% of our total trade, our neighborhood and surrounding countries. Now it represents nearly 44% of our total trade, from 7% to 44%. So the Baku-Tbilisi-Ceyhan pipeline, reconstruction efforts in Afghanistan, and all these, you can name it. And Turkey considers the United States to be a partner, and the United States views Turkey as a key player in the region. We share the same set of values and ideals, our regional and global objectives. The promotion of peace, democracy, freedom and prosperity, and the fight against terror. Although mostly remain under the shadow of security and political relations, the importance of commercial and economic relations between Turkey and the US must not be underestimated. Our overall economic relations with the US are much better compared with the previous years, despite the fact that our exports are decreasing due to appreciation of Turkish lira and competition from the Far East. I tried to implement this states program. That's why I am here in Atlanta. I manage in Illinois, in New York as a state, New York, Illinois, Atlanta, Florida, and California will come. Why? Because these 6 states has about 70% of total trade between Turkey and US. And also these 6 states is very important for US economy. That's why I choose Atlanta. And I want to get to know, you, one by one, the business authorities. Here we have a lot of good representatives of our country. And I want to show my country what it has, what is its capacity, capability, import, export. This is very important, and services also. So Turkey, if I look at in the United States market, let me give some figures. We are second biggest supplier of tobacco in the United States, and 4th largest supplier of marble, copper wire, and olive oil, 5th largest supplier in the United States of home textiles and towel, 7th largest supplier of jewelry, and we are also among the top 3 buyers of United States cotton. We are the top 3 for the US cotton. So we have a lot of opportunities also. But I would like to say that we sell chickpeas, red lentil. I don't like this type of exports for my whole life. Yes, we did it. It's about $500. It was $500 per ton. Now it is, because of the high prices in overall the world crisis, it is about $1,500 per ton. It is nothing. Last year, 2 years ago, I sent a cockpit simulator to South Korea, Turkish-made, 85% Turkish-made cockpit simulator to South Korea. it was small item, 15 tons, $30 million. $2 million per ton, you see, $2,000 per kilo. This is export. So, so I want to increase this share. Of course, how? Of course, I need your support for United States technology, know-how, and we want to have this type of export, high-end exports, technique. This is very important. Technique, textile exports, and now we are shifting the industry. I am not in the phase of competing with the rest of the world with, low price, high quantity. This axis is not functioning for Turkey now. We have to go for high price, high quality. I am selling the quality. That's why I implement program of Turquality, Turks and quality. It comes from our turquoise. It is my invention, you know that. It is, yes, turquoise, the color of the Turkish coast. Sometimes diving gives you this type of side effect. And it gives us great pleasure. Now I invite most of the gurus of the business from the United States also. Jack Trout came, gave a lesson to us, and also the others. Big, kind of state writers and the famous guys in the business authorities give lectures to our middle and upper middle managers. And now we are booming in this quality area. We gave fashion to Russia. We gave fashion to Europe. We create the fashion. Turkish leather suits, Turkish leather jackets, and Turkish quality textile, home textile. These are very important. So I also, let me say, what about this U.S. foreign direct investment in Turkey? It amounts to $4.2 billion. As of July 2008, there are 922 companies operating in Turkey, and total amount of investment by these countries reached to $9.5 billion. GE and Doğuş, Citibank and Akbank, UN Roro and KKR, Texas Pacific Group and May. These are examples for the recent collaboration between Turkish and the U.S. companies. We certainly welcome new investments from Atlanta region, and from Atlanta, UPS does very well in Turkey, I should say that. And further improving our trade and economic relations with the U.S. and is a significant objective of a Turkish government. I hope to give you an overall picture of Turkish economy and flavor of its role in the region. I hope this will present a base for our discussions today. I want to thank once again to the Southern Center for International Studies for this discussion. I will be very happy to hear your comments and answer your questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. We have about, on the schedule, about 10 or 15 minutes for questions, so please open up. We start there. Thank you.
I'm curious about your comment about Turkey wanting to develop higher technology. Oh, okay.
Yes,
I'm Dave Walber here in Atlanta, and I'm curious of your comment about Turkey developing more technology. And Turkey is possibly one of the world's foremost users of solar thermal heat, and I wonder if Turkey's looking forward to alternative energies, and if you are personally concentrating on developing alternatives or exceeding that, Asian countries and Western countries are doing that now.
Yeah. Thank you very much. This is a very good question for me because my constituency now is Mersin. Mersin has an international port, and it will be the most effective international port as a seaport in the Mediterranean region. About 1 out of 8 containers goes in the Mediterranean Sea. My former constituency was Gaziantep. It was in southeastern Anatolia. For 5 years, I had parliament member position from there. Now Mersin. Why? The solar energy. I would like to create a solar energy center in Mersin. How? In Turkey, for 300 days, Mersin region takes solar, and it is radiation rate and everything, all the calculations shows it is the right place. That's why I try to I went to Spain, France, and tried to find some guys who, for the alternative energy sources, this type of studies. And United States also, I would like to see this, in our area. I went to China. I was in Urumqi. You know the West China? They have one alternative energy company. It is number 2 in the world in terms of solar and wind energy. I invited them. We had some, preliminary working with them. In China, in this part, Urumqi, Turfan, you know that they are Turkic origin. I speak Turkish there, and their Turkish is better than mine. It is 5,000 kilometers away from Turkey, but in any case, we invite them. We will have our preliminary studies. Of course, there is another study, nuclear study. It will also be in Mersin, in Akkuyu. The nuclear energy power plant is determined to be in Mersin. It is chosen. We have to go in these activities. But for solar energy, as an alternative energy source, I am keen on that. And if you have just an additional approach to this, just do not hesitate to contact with me and my colleagues. I want to, in any case, I want to set up an international solar energy center in Mersin for the future. While I was Minister of State and also my constituency was Gaziantep. Gaziantep has no 5-star hotels. Gaziantep has no international airport. Gaziantep had no Zeugma International Museum. Within 5 years, we had the best of the world mosaic museum. Please see that into this mosaic, Zeugma Mosaic Museum, Zeugma. I want to see all of you in these sites. International port and also 5-star hotels. So I will do the same in Mersin. Mersin has St. Paul well, the St. Paul. It is the birthplace, living place of St. Paul. And also has Prophet Daniel. The grave of the Prophet Daniel is just recently found in Tarsus. And this is a great evening. I invite some guys from the National Geography. I would like to show them how they had a glass cement on the coverage. It is stated in our all holy books. Exactly is like that. It will be a new actual era for the region. We will have about 10,000 beds there because, Antalya is the famous region in Turkey. Alanya district has about 44,000 touristic beds. Unfortunately, the richest historical site of Turkey, Mersin, has only 7,000 beds. 7,000. So I plan to have both this solar and the tourism. I had 5 T's for Mersin: tourism, trade, transportation, and of course technology and Tuzmen. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, we will go into details. Okay. Yeah. Please.
Your Excellency, some of us remember the heroic service of the Korean Armed Forces in the Korean War. I add on to that inventory of connections with the United States. That was a long time ago, but it was enormously important asset to the United States in fighting the war with Turkish allies. I have a question concerning the situation in Kurdistan and the future of that region of Iraq in terms of the overall peace that we believe may not be possible between the United States and Iraq. Do you see any solution coming to the relationship between those two?
Yeah, actually, I stated earlier, I was from the Southeast Anatolia as a parliament member. So I know the region very well. And I worked in Iraq for 10 years, increasing our export-import ties. I spent a lot of time in Mosul, Zaho, Dahok, in the region. We do not have any problem with the Kurds. They are our brothers. They are our relatives. I said we came from the Ottoman Empire. We were together. We, in the Turkish Republic of Turkey, we always consider Kurds our brothers, our relatives. There is no differentiation. They can come to the top of the government. We have ministers, colleagues, We have presidents from Kurdish origin. We have ministers, parliament members. So there is no problem. Kurds are our brothers, relatives. But PKK is a terrorist organization. This is different. So we have to really differentiate these two. Some of the NGOs in other countries, they really do not understand what's going on. They thought that there's a differentiation in Turkey. There's a discrimination of Kurds in Turkey. No, Kurds are everywhere. We have a lot of our marriages. We cannot divide these two nations. It is impossible. Under the Turkish nation, we have plenty of other ethnic origins. Turkomans, Kurds, Caucasian region, Balkanian region, all. We are a former empire. So we have this all responsibility. We want to have a peace in the region and overall the world. Of course, we do not want to see a divided Iraq. Most of the people say about this. Behind the sources of Iraq, the fortunes of Iraq, the treasury of Iraq must be used by Iraqi people, not for the regions, not partly, for whole. And we took in our relations the central government of Iraq as a partner. We tried to set all the communication through there, and we tried to solve this problem. This is a problem in the region, and it is according to GDP division, I think. The problem in the Middle East, problem of the Palestine and Israel, problem in the North Iraq is same. We have to increase per capita income of the region, whole region. And Turkey now tries to do that. If you have, high per capita income, if you have high educational efforts in this region, there won't be any problem. This is the problem with the per capita incomes. So this is why I try to boost our trade with Iran, Iraq, Syria, Palestine, all the region. And then we can solve through that. Now, as Turkey, we will go to the end point of this, terrorism, like United States. You have a problem in Al-Qaeda. It was created somehow, anyway. Now it is not easy to manage. It is same. The PKK terrorist organization is exactly same as Al-Qaeda for United States. It is same. No way. So we have to finalize this. Just I came and we had about 17 deaths. And these guys, they are breathing our air. They are eating our bread. They are eating our food. They are killing us. So how can you accept that? It is impossible. Yes.
I'm Virginia Bradley, the publisher of Global Executive Magazine. According to a study by Reuters, women's feeling about their own economic conditions in Turkey, confidence level is about 34%. And this research by country, the lowest is about 19%, with the highest being about 84%, like China and India. Of course, they're all feeling very confident with the changes. The global average is 57%, with the U.S. being that same 57%. My question is, for the women, and I'm talking business women, in Turkey, both women business owners and corporate executives, how do you see them moving forward, and what should we be aware of that we may not know?
Yeah, actually they are great. Now, during the last, and it is easy for me to deal with them, because I understand better. We always have tried to have real women entrepreneurs in the overall region, and we had Kagider approach also, mostly Turkish entrepreneurs. Some of the Turkish entrepreneurs, the ladies, now they are in the top positions of some of the huge conglomerates. For example, Güler Sabancı. She is now in the top position of the Sabancı Holding, and doing very well. And we had plenty of Turkish women both in Turkey and in Europe. Their entrepreneurism is much higher than the others. We try to, there is no, I think we have a discrimination, but it is a positive discrimination for women. We try to really support them in every area, and they are very good in the art, talent, this type of activities, and also having the organic agriculture, for example, in Turkey, and new areas of development. So if you have any suggestions to do that, I do my best. Okay? Yeah. Yes.
Thank you very much. The European Union, I think you applied in 1962, same time as Greece. You took Greece, France, Germany, and Austria built once you in. You have a vibrant economy. What do you say we're not interested anymore?
We always say the easy questions.
It is, no. Okay, to tell you the truth, it is a love affair for us. We had our, engagement ring in 2005 at the end. I am 50 years old. When I opened up my eyes, we were the potential member of the European Union. I am one of the careered state minister of Turkey. We are still potential member of the European Union. Yes, we had some difficulties in the past. I said the revolving door type of governments, etc. But we have fulfilled our all obligations. We have the customs union agreement with the European Union. In 1960s, our per capita income was higher than Greece, was higher than Spain, and was higher than Portugal. And in 1990s, I still say the same. After 2000, when they became the European Union members, their economies boomed. But we still try to do our best. For example, our exports, automotive exports of Turkey is about $23 billion. Only one sector, automotive sector of Turkey, is $23 billion exported last year. It is higher than total Greece exports. It is higher than Bulgaria and Romania's total exports together. So this is the situation. We are number 6 in the European Union in terms of macroeconomic indicators. We are the first largest bus manufacturer of the European Union. We are 7th in the world, just within parentheses, I want to say that. And our economy, in 2002, Spain exports was $115 billion, and imports was $159 billion. Total GDP was about $640 billion. 2002, Spain. 2007, Turkey, $107 billion exports, $169 billion imports, and $650 billion GDP. So we are 5 years behind Spain, one of the biggest countries of the European Union. We didn't fed up, we didn't give up. We had our engagement ring. It is love affair. At the beginning, we were young together. Now you see we are handsome, still talented, and try to do our best. The lady is no more charming for us, maybe you can say. But for the sake of the others, we want to have a marriage ring. Thank you.